what you really delve into and the commitment that you are really so passionate about, that I've been learning through, being on Coach JV's calls and your contributions to those calls, and what you share has been really an awakening for me in true aspects. So share with the viewers.
I would love to. So I'll give you the short version, because a lot of the details can be found on our website or on our YouTube channel. But Team Psycosmos is a humanitarian research-based organization, which is now geared towards practical spiritual life coaching. The way that this started was I had a lot of struggles, as Jeff had mentioned, earlier in my life. By the time I was about 17, I didn't have a good relationship with either of my parents anymore, and I was essentially on my own, working 2 jobs to not only sustain myself, but sustain my family. At the time, my mother was, my mother's now passed, but at the time she was on hard opiate drugs, and I was actually the main breadwinner of the family, working 2 jobs, trying to give as much money as I could, thousands of dollars, just to ensure that myself and my family could survive. When I finally was able to put myself through college, I started asking myself the deeper questions of, I kind of had put together at that time. I wasn't really super spiritual. I had prayed and I was trying to find myself. I was a young lad, and I was trying to find myself a good bit, but I struggled, just like a lot of other people do. And my main issue that I had noticed growing up was my parents always fought about money. It was always money was the root of the conversation that led to their divorce and their separation and my ultimate abandonment. So after a lot of research, I started asking myself deeper questions than other people around me in school, even my professors were at, which was basically, what do the highest, wealthiest billionaire elite believe in? Not just from a spiritual perspective, which would come later, but from a financial perspective, what were they doing so differently that was causing them to have that competitive advantage against others? And down this rabbit hole I went, and this was all pre-pandemic, and I know the pandemic had other people ask those similar questions. Who was really in charge of this, and how was this happening in our world? Well, that kind of rocked all of the experiences that led up to my upbringing had me ask those questions maybe a bit sooner than some people when they had gone through that pandemic. So ultimately, what ended up happening, to just kind of give the short version, I started doing a lot of research. I started going really deep into what the elites and the billionaires believed in. They had a much different sense of spirituality than everybody else that I had known and grown up with. They weren't going to church or temple or mosque. They were doing their own thing behind closed doors. Some of it was very dark, which I know a lot of people talk about. Some of it wasn't actually so dark, and they had a fundamental understanding of sciences, quantum physics, the energy of the human body, the spirit, the soul, if you want to put it that way, and the integration of understanding those mechanics and how to apply those mechanics in a practical way to make money. Then it kind of started this rabbit hole journey of studying the different ways that spirituality encompasses itself. And ultimately what I found was that there's a lot to unpack. And so what we do is we try not to hone in on the super complicated. We try to hone in on the simple. We want to make this practical. We want to make this easy for other people to understand, because it's already so overly complex. But when you can actually understand the frameworks on things like intention setting or manifesting, people are talking about it all over online right now, especially on TikTok or Twitter. But really, truly getting to the heart of what that means, then you can start applying it and you can start living your life the best way that you want to live, rather than living it according to your boss or your corporation or something that is kind of superseding or overseeing you. You get a semblance of freedom, financial freedom, which is something that's super important. But that's the gist of what Team Psycosmos was founded on. We've been researching for over 10 years. We've written multiple books which have won awards. and I've gotten multiple certifications over the years. And I never really was into the spiritual stuff like I am now. But after learning so much, it just makes my life so much happier and so much better, which then I can help my clients kind of get to that same point as well. So that's what Team Psycosmos is. It's Psycosmos put together.
Psycosmos. So I like that name. And you say bringing you to joy in what you're doing, and that's what we all should be doing, is finding that passion and that purpose of what we're here for, to share and enlighten others.